दीनतारिणं कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं खलु शायुतशक्तसुदीननरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। भुजे सव्यवेणुं शिरसि शिखिपिच्छं कटितटे दुकूलं नेत्रान्ते सहचरकटाक्षं विदधते सदा श्रीमद्वृन्दावनवसति लीलापरिचयो जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे। वन्दे नन्दव्रजस्त्रीणां पादरेणुम् अभीक्ष्णशः यासां हरिकथोद्गीतं पुनाति भुवनत्रयं भक्त्या विहीन अपराधलक्षैक्षिप्ताश्च कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयी त्वां शरणं प्रपन्नवृन्दे नुमस्ते चरणारविन्दं भूमौ स्वखलितपादानां भूमिरेव यवलम्बनं त्वय्यजातयपराधानां त्वमैव शरणं प्रभु। वागीशा यस्य वदने लक्ष्मीर्यस्या च वक्ष्यसि यस्यास्ति हृदये संवित्तं नृसिंहमहं भजे। श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यप्रभुनित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैतगदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 7th chapter. Yesterday we heard the properties of sky and what Avadhuta Brahmana has learnt from the sky. From 3 verses, he is telling that just like the sky is present everywhere, inside our body is also it is there and outside also it is there. So it apparently appears that the sky is limited because it is inside, but actually the sky is not limited, sky is unlimited. In a similar way, the Paramatma or the Brahma Vastu, that which is inside Brahma Tattva, that is inside us, he is inside all the living entities. So even though it seems that the Paramatma is limited for this body only, but he is present everywhere, he is conscious of everything. He is unlimited and he is unaffected, or he is untouched by the external things of the body, just like the sky. And also another lesson that he is mentioning here is when there are clouds in the sky, a wind disperses all the clouds, and similarly, by the influence of time, all the things are slowly dispersed, but the actual self, the living entity, or the Paramatma, whatever, he is still remains uncovered. Means the sky is still there. So if even though wind drives away all the clouds, but still the sky remains. In a similar way, all the other material elements, they may slowly, one after another, they may decay over a period of time, but still the Atma remains uncovered and eternal. And then he talks about water. Water is very pure, it is soft, and the sound is very pleasing, it's very pleasant. In a similar way, the sadhus, they are also very pure, and whoever come in contact with him, they are purified, and they are very soft, and at the same time their speech is also very soft. They are very soft spoken. So through their speech, through their touch, and through their sight, they purify everyone. Just like the water, by seeing a pure water body, one's mind is very much pleased. It feels very clear in the mind. So in a similar way, by the sight of a sadhu, one is purified. Morning also we heard the verse that the devotees are very much like the pilgrim places, because they have the capacity to purify even those places that are impure. By the presence of the Supreme Lord in them, in their heart, they can purify even the impure places. Therefore, the sadhus are, they purify everything. They are very soft by nature, and through speech means this, by speaking about the Supreme Lord, His name, etc., they purify everyone, just like the water. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary, जल হইতে শিক্ষার কথা বলিতেছেন, জল স্বচ্ছ নির্মল স্বভাবতঃ স্নিগ্ধ সকলের প্রতি স্নেহশীল জল মধুর. So the characteristics of water are, it is pure, it is clear, it is by nature soft and affectionate and sweet, or soft spoken, or in the sense that pleasant sound. We heard Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's purport, na? But anyway, we will continue. Sadhu Seirup Madhur Alapi Ukti Upadesh Dwara Ei Loke Pavitra Koran. In a similar way, by the pure speech, by their soft speech, the pure devotees also purify everyone. Seirup Sadhu Jalatulya Shakaler Mitra Hoiben. And they are very affectionate to everyone. Just like water, anyone goes. The water does not see any distinction, whether he is rich, whether he is poor, whether he is a Brahmana, whether he is a Shudra, whether he is a foreigner, whether he is an Indian, whether this place or that place. He has no consideration. He is equal to all. Whoever comes to the water body, he is very generous to supply whatever he has. In a similar way, water also, he is affectionate to everyone. Whoever comes to him, without any reservation and without any restriction, he supplies water to everyone. আগ হইতে এই মতো এইরূপ পাঠ ধরিলে মিত্র শব্দের অর্থ সখা পবিত্র করে, অর্থাৎ स्वच्छत्व आदि गुण द्वारा जलेर नाय शकल के पवित्र करा. अच्छे से बैठो, हरी कथा सुन रहे हो. So by just like water purifies everyone, a sadhu also, through his pure good characteristics or conduct, he purifies everyone. Now, what Srila Prabhupada writes in the commentary, Pathantare punyatya aghan mitram जागतिक सुखार्थी और दुखार्थी जनगण चंचल सूत्रांग मुनि होते पारे ना. He is telling that those materialistic people who are hankering after material riches, and dukharta means and distressed by miseries. Those who are seeking happiness and those who are distressed by miseries, they can never stay poised, stable. They remain restless, which means they can never become muni, they can never become saintly. A person who has materialistic desires or who is constantly distressed by material troubles, he can never be muni. Sthitadhir munirichyate. In Bhagavad Gita the Lord says, a person who is sthitadhi means whose consciousness or whose intelligence is fixed in one thing. Now, material things, they are always flickering and fleeting. How can his consciousness be fixed? If you put your place where it is stable, then you will be stable. If you put in a muddy place where there is, that, what do you call, daldal, what is it called in English? Where there is slippery you can say, a place where there is slippery. If you want to fix your foot there, will you be stable? No. In a similar way, in this material world, if we put our knowledge, intelligence or our consciousness fixed on any material matter, just like any relation, wife or children or husband or this thing or that thing, because the thing itself is flickering, how can our consciousness be fixed on it? If we need to fix our consciousness, then the consciousness to be fixed on that which is permanent, which is not unstable, which is rather stable. If our consciousness or intelligence is fixed in a stable object, then we will be stable. But if we keep our consciousness in material subjects, which by nature are flickering, then how can it be stable? Just like, keeping the place at a solid ground and, placing the feet at a place which is slippery or which is muddy. So such persons cannot become munis. Such persons cannot become saintly. Tahara avaido bhave bahi pragya chalito hoya bhoga paravasho dharmer avasthito. Sutrang bhoge anurag bhoger atriptite krodh भोगा भाव आशंकाय भय द्वारा आक्रांत भगवत सेवा परायण मुनि तद्रूप नहन. बोल रहे हैं लेकिन वो क्या है, ओह सॉरी, बट दे आर बहिप्रज्ञा चालित, दे आर रन बाय देयर सुपरफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, by their external intelligence. So bhoga paravash dharme avasthita, they are always looking after where they can get happiness. They are seeking for happiness. They are always waiting for happiness. And which means bhoge anurag. They are attached to those objects where they can get happiness, temporary happiness. And by bhoger atriptite krodh, and when that desire is not fulfilled, because they are attached to enjoyment, and if that enjoyment is not fulfilled, then anger. And bhoga abhav ashankai bhai, or maybe in the future I may not get this pleasure, therefore fear. So in three states they are in worry constantly. Because of their over attachment to sense enjoyment, they are only looking for places where they get enjoyment. But in this material world, no object can give you permanent happiness. None of the objects. If you say that mobile gives you happiness, let's say, but that's only for some time. The same, that thing or that person who seemed to be a giver of enjoyment to you or happiness to you, the same object becomes a giver of misery, isn't it? In the Raja Chitraketu story, it comes when King Chitraketu was thinking that I have no child If I have child, I have everything. All the appearances are there. So many wives are there. So I am happy in that front. But I am not happy because I have no child. See, he has done all kinds of sacrifices, all kinds of penances, whatever needs to be done, everything was done. But he was not blessed with a child. So he was restless because he was thinking that having a son means being happy. Whatever we don't have, we think that by having it we will be happy. That is what is material world. So, but it is not the case. So he was finally blessed to have a child. And by the blessings of Narad Goswami, when he had child, that time itself he was instructed. But you see, you are thinking that this child is going to be cause of happiness to you. But the same child is going to be a cause of distress also to you. He said, no, never mind. Because people like us, we are not far-sighted. What immediately gives us happiness is what we embrace. But what is going to happen in the future, we don't want to worry. He said, no problem. Having son is more important. Happiness or distress we'll see later. I think that getting son, I will be happy. So he was finally he was given the blessing to have son. He had son, and that son, because he had 100 queens, out of 100 queens, one bore the child. So obviously the king was attached more to that wife. Every day he was going to the palace where that particular wife is, always playing with the child. So now he is not considerate about other wives. There are 99 wives, and also kingdom is there. He is not worried because he has a beautiful child. So he is always going to her quarters. So the result is the 99 became unhappy and they poisoned the lone child. Because he is the cause. Because of him the king is going everywhere. So the child is dead. So the same person who gave pleasure to him, the king saw him and then he started to cry. Started to beat his head and heart and he was crying. Then that time again Narad Goswami came there. That time. And told, my son is gone. I already told you. That whom you think is the cause of happiness is going to be the cause of misery also to you. But the Lord was, the king was not in any mood to listen to any good things. Then Narada immediately brought back the life of the child. Now you speak, my dear child, why did you leave this place? You got a nice king, loving mother, and your father is so affectionate to you. Why did you leave such a place and go? Then he asked, what father are you talking about? I have taken so many births. Which father are you talking about? Which mother are you talking about? By the desire of Supreme Lord, I have taken so many births. Birth of father and mother of which birth are you talking about? You please tell me. So when the dead child was speaking in this manner, then he could understand. He also spoke about, because of my karma, I come to one place, and when the karma is finished, I go away, and according to my karma, I go to some other place. I don't have any control in coming or going. It is by the will of Supreme Lord, whatever the way I am made to dance, I am dancing. So then the father could understand. So what I wanted to say here is that the same object that we think that gives happiness, you see, everyone, they think that wife is very nice. They get married, or husband is very nice to have husband or to have wife is very nice. For 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, probably okay. But the same person whom you thought will give happiness to you will slowly become burden on your head. For some reason, maybe your own apprehension or your own thing, whatever it is, the same person you thought that, by having such a company of such a person I'll be happy, the same will become an object of suffering. So, there is nothing, no object in this material world is a cause of permanent happiness. It gives misery. Therefore, when I get an object, I am always fearful. I may lose this any time. That fear is there. Or if the enjoyment is not fulfilled, I thought this will happen, but it didn't happen. He will be angry. So, materialistic people are constantly, troubled by this, by fear, by anger, and in anticipation. Either in anticipation or in fear of not fulfillment, or anger out of not unfulfillment, and fear out of loss of it. They are constantly in miseries. So how can that person be stable? The mind of that person can never be stable. But he is saying that Bhagavat Seva Parayan Muni Tadrup Nahe. But a sadhu who is Bhagavat Seva Parayan, who is inclined to serve the Supreme Lord, he is not in fear. He is not worried, he is not angry, nor is he, waiting for something that is not going to come. Supreme Lord is all blissful and he is eternal. Therefore, there cannot be any fear that I may lose this any time, or I may, or getting angry because, I am not able to get happiness here. So he is always very blissful. Tini nirmal jal sadrisha. A person who is soft, clear, poised from inside, he will obviously be very happy from outside also, isn't it? If mind is restless, then you can see it on the face that a person is restless. But a sadhu, because he is fully peaceful, so his presence automatically brings peace to others. Like the water, swabhavata snigdha and very soft. He is not always agitated. People, in general, they become agitated. But a sadhu is always very soft. Sakal pranite daya, and he has mercy on everyone, just like water. He is merciful to everyone. He is welcoming everyone to come and drink water. He is not saying you are not allowed, oh you are an animal, so you are not allowed. You are a donkey, you are a dog. No, these distinctions we make. But the water does not. O mitrata yukta sarvakshan madhura alapi. So, very sweet sound, very friendly sound the water has that pleases the ears. O kutarker abahane apavritta. And he is also, a sadhu is also not, he is unwelcoming to illogic or false discussions or temporary discussions. He has no desire in all these things. Tini sakha tirthasthan. Therefore, a sadhu is tirtha. A sadhu is a pilgrim place by himself. Bhagavane sharanagato hoya षड्विंशति गुणे गुणी होवाय तिनी भगवत दर्शन लाभ ओ भगवत स्पर्शन लाभ करिया सर्वदा भगवत Vikram Samuher Gayak. So, because he is wholeheartedly or completely submitted to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, he has all the 26 qualities. These 26 qualities are mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where sadhu's qualities, there are 26 qualities of a sadhu. All of these are mentioned there. So, like he is compassionate, he is merciful, he is soft-spoken, he is peaceful. Like there are 26 qualities of sadhu. So all these 26 qualities are fully present in a sadhu. Why? Because of his submission to Supreme Lord. A person who is completely submitted to Supreme Lord, all the good qualities or all the qualities in fact are present in such a sadhu. And Bhagavad Darshan Labh, he is constantly taking darshan of Supreme Lord, and Bhagavad Sparshan Labh, and he is constantly touching the Supreme Lord. He is seeing, he is touching, and he is singing the glories of the Supreme Lord. Tini Bhagavad Katha Kirtan Koriya Jagat ke Dhanya Koran. Therefore, by speaking about Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, he blesses the entire world. ताहार संग प्रभावे ताहार प्रति समृद्ध सखागण जड़ाभिनिवेश रूप पाप होते मुक्त हन. So by the result of his association, means by coming in contact with a sadhu, the result is that anyone who has come in contact will be freed from material desires. Just like by taking bath in the water, one is purified from external things. If you one in let's say Ganga or other things, other rivers, he is purified from all the sins. In a similar way, a person who has come in contact with a sadhu, in the morning also we heard, by coming in contact with the sadhus, one gets an opportunity to listen the glories of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna in his contact. Because sadhus do what? Satam prasangam amavirya samvido. They are constantly singing my glories. They are only talking about me, who am a purifier. Therefore, anyone who comes in contact with a sadhu, he is immediately purified because he is listening to the Harikatha, which is a purifier. Apam mitram pather parivarte पाठांतरे अघा मित्रम पदे पाप होइते उद्धारेर कथा जाना जाए. Apam mitram means water is like a friend, but here some say aghan mitram, he is what do you call pap hoite. Agha means pap, agha means sin. So one is freed from the sins by coming in contact with the water. अपाम मित्रम पाठे मुनि के जलेर सहित तुलना करा হইয়া আছে সেই মুনিরূপ জলেই কারণার্ণবশায়ী গর্ভোদশায়ী ও ক্ষীরোদশায়ী পুরুষাবতার ত্রয়ের প্রাকট্য. So that muni, that sadhu is the place of all the three Vishnus, means the Lord resides in him. We heard in the morning, same thing. So the Lord is residing in the heart of a sadhu. Sadhus are my heart and I am theirs. स्वच्छ जले मलिनता नाय, माधुर्य अवस्थित और स्वाभाविक अनुराग समृद्ध और प्रकटित. भगवत कथा श्रवण फले जड़ दर्शन वैक्लव्य होते परिमुक्त मुनि भगवत स्पर्शनक्षम तज्जन्य तिनी भगवत कथा गानेर अधिकारी ताहार संगई जीवेर बद्ध भाव व मानसिक चांचल्य होते व मुक्तिर कारण. So by constant listening about the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, he is completely free from of being in contact with the material things, completely free from that, and he is able to see Supreme Lord Sri Krishna through Harikatha. By constantly listening about Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, he becomes eligible to take darshan of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Therefore, he is the only person who is eligible to sing his glories also. A person who is able to see Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, therefore he is the eligible candidate to speak about him. Only by association of such persons one can be freed from the flickering nature of the mind or restlessness, unsteadiness, and the living entity's conditioned state. They can be freed from that only by coming in contact with a sadhu who has the desire to listen Harikatha, by which he becomes able to see Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and thus becoming the only eligible candidate to speak about Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So this is what Prabhupada has written in the purport. So in brief, by a person who comes in contact with a sadhu, he is purified. He is, by his speech about Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, he immediately gets delivered from all the, or freed from all the sinful activities and material conditioning activities. Just like the water, by seeing him, by touching him, and by taking bath in him, one is purified in a similar way. So that is what he learned from the water. Tejasvi, now verse number 45. Tejasvi tapasadipto durdarshodara bhajanah सर्व भक्ष्यो अपि युक्तात्मा नादत्ते मलमग्निवत् तेजस्वी तप प्रभाव संपन्न दुर्दर्श अपरिग्रहशील मुक्त स्वभाव मुनि सर्ववेद वस्तु भक्खन अर्थात दैवात कोनो निषिद्ध द्रव्य भक्खन करिलेउ अग्नि न्याय कोनो रूप मलिनता ग्रस्त होना. So now the next thing he is talking about is from the fire. What lesson did he learn from the fire is being said here. A sadhu, a pure devotee, is very illuminating. Like the fire, he is illuminating. And tapa prabhava sampanna, because of his, he is of his austerities that he is performing, that is widespread. He is unaffected because of his austerities. And aparigrahashila mukta swabhav muni, and he is always delivered. The muni is not in a conditioned state. He is delivered. So, sarvavido vastu bhakkan korileu, just like a fire. Whatever you give in the fire, what happens? He can digest anything. Like a fire, if you put something, he will immediately consume it. He can digest anything. In a similar way, a very luminous sadhu who is strong by the penances, due to the penances that he performs, such a person is able to digest anything. Digest anything means, even if by will of providence or due to some other reason, if we had consumed that which is not to be consumed also. Okay, like meat, onion, garlic, these are not to be eaten. Even if by will of providence, or because of being in such a state, like a sadhu is in the middle of a jungle where nothing is available, then suddenly he had to eat something that is not to be supposed to be eaten. Even then that sadhu has the capacity to digest it. He is not affected because his tendency is not to enjoy. So, just like fire can digest everything or burn everything, similarly, any sin that might come out of eating that unwanted thing will be burned to ashes for a sadhu, for a muni. So, this is what Avadhuta Brahmana has learnt from the fire. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary, Agni hoite shikhar kotha boltechen. From fire, what he has learnt is being said here. Tejasvi ityadi tinti shloka dwara Agni durdarsha tahake shobhayukta koribar samarthya kaharau nai. So, from the following three verses, what Avadhuta Brahmana has learnt from the fire is being mentioned, talked about. So, in this verse, he is telling that nobody can disturb fire. Nobody can unsettle fire. Evang udar bhajan अर्थात भक्ष द्रव्य उदरे ही राखे. সেই রূপ যোগী তেজস্বীও ভক্ষ দ্রব্য সঞ্চয় করিয়া রাখিবেন না. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is writing another meaning to this, another indication of this, that just like a fire, whatever is offered to him, he accepts everything. He will not keep it for a later time. He immediately consumes it. In a similar way, sadhu also, if anything is offered to him, he will not store it for some other day. He has no storing tendency like now we are doing for 1 month, 2 months. Isn't it? Everyone is storing for, there's a big queue at the grocery stores everywhere because storing. But fire, whatever is given to him, he does not store it for tomorrow, day after tomorrow. He immediately consumes it. In a similar way, sadhu has no tendency to store for some other day, because if we keep some object for some other day, then our attachment will be there. Isn't it? Any object if you keep, we will have attachment to it. But a sadhu has nothing in possession. If it comes, it is by Lord's will. Tomorrow Lord will not grace, it is not like that. Today he graced with something, tomorrow he will not grace, it is not like that. And if by his grace it is that we don't get any provision to eat, he is okay with it. So therefore, a sadhu does not store. But then what are we doing? If our objective is right, what is that? We are storing it for the service of the Supreme Lord. You see, the difference between sadhu's thought process and our thought process is very different. We are concerned about our own self, what we will eat, what we will do. But sadhu, maybe it may seem that he is storing. Like everyone is giving money, let's say pranami to sadhu, who is immediately spending. It's also not like that. Maybe he keeps, but he keeps it for the service of Supreme Lord. He does not think that, oh, tomorrow when I am sick, then this money will come for my purpose. Or tomorrow if there is some scarcity, then no, not like that. But how that can be utilized in the service of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, he never stores a sadhu, just like a fire that consumes everything. So this is the lesson that Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is also giving from this. Now, Srila Prabhupada writes in the commentary, Agnir nikat jaha jaha shikhaniya tahai shlokatraye varnit hoyache. So in 3 verses, whatever are the lessons that one can learn from fire are being mentioned in 3 verses. In this verse, Pratham shloke, Agni dahan korya dravadir mal grahan koryanna. So when something is offered to fire, if there is impurity in that particular, let's say, item that is being offered, he is not touched by the impurity of it. He even burns it, isn't it? If some impurity is offered in the fire, that impurity is, the fire does not remain touched by it. He even burns it also. In a similar way, if by some will of providence or by chance, if some impure object is offered, or if sadhu has to consume some impure object, then that also becomes purified. It does not get contaminated, just like us. Why are we said don't eat food outside, don't do this? Why? Because our mind becomes polluted. Vishair khaile anna malina hoy man. Mahaprabhu gives this instruction to Raghunath Das Goswami. When Raghunath Das Goswami comes to Puri, that time his father sends lots of money. My son, I heard that my son is begging at Simhadwar of Jagannath and he is only drinking, mattha, the buttermilk. He is not drinking anything. So poor fellow is not eating anything. So what they did, they sent money to the child. They thought that he will eat nicely. And he sent 2 Brahmanas also who can cook for Raghunath Das Goswami. He may have no time to take care of everything. But what did Raghunath Das Goswami do? If I accept this, I will become attached. If I accept these things, I will become attached. Wherever, our Gurudev also, he told several times, from wherever you accept any, any help in any way, then you will get attached immediately. That's why after coming to Math also, we will make brothers, we will make sisters, we will make mothers, isn't it? Why? Because they are taking care, and because I am accepting, automatically my mind goes there. That is the attachment, right? But we are not we cannot overcome such attachments. Why? Because along with it, we are also accepting the impurity. But a sadhu, he does not. So Raghunath Das Goswami, what he did, if I accept this for me, then I will be attached to my family. Therefore what he did, this should be utilized in the service of Mahaprabhu. So he invited Mahaprabhu, he invited other associates of Mahaprabhu, please come for prasad at my place. And he used to prepare so nicely, Brahmanas are there, a lot of money is there, so many foodstuffs have been sent. So he would invite, Mahaprabhu is coming and eating. But one day Raghunath Das Goswami himself tells, I think the Lord is not happy taking prasad here. So this word reaches Mahaprabhu. Govinda tells that now Raghunath Das Goswami stopped inviting you because he thinks that you are not happy with this. Then Mahaprabhu says, yes, Raghunath is such a person that he knows my heart. Why? Because Vishayir anna khaile malin hoy man. If one eats the food that is offered by a materialistic person or a king, then one's mind will become polluted. Malina mane na hoy Krishna smaran. And once the mind is polluted, then one cannot remember about Krishna. Therefore, everything depends on what we are eating. It acts in a very subtle way. We may say, oh, so what? But it acts in a very subtle way. So, if we eat food offered by materialistic person, non-devotees, then our mind becomes polluted and our bhajan will get immediately affected. We cannot remember about Supreme Lord. But sadhu, he can eat anything, anywhere. You may say, oh, he is adikshit, he has not taken diksha. Why did Guru Maharaj eat here? He can eat. He can digest anything because he is not attached. He is accepting it for what purpose? To give it back to him. So that person will become a devotee. He is accepting the service so that person is purified. Prabhupada had performed one pastime. In Calcutta, there was a huge, big assembly that was organized in which speakers of different religions, they were invited. So many persons were invited. Prabhupada was also among them. So, he went to that place and he went onto the stage, but for 2 to 3 days he did not get an opportunity to speak Harikatha. Because there were so many speakers, he did not get an opportunity to speak Harikatha. I think that was the king that has invited Prabhupada at that time. So, he was supplying food to him, but Prabhupada said, I don't want to eat. He was not accepting food for 2-3 days. Then the king finally asked, is there any mistake in my hostage to you? Any problem? Please let me know. Why are you not accepting food? If you do this way, then it is a great sin upon me. I have invited saints, but I have not fed them properly. Then Prabhupada said one thing. If I cannot give you anything, how can I accept anything from you? That person did not understand. I have come here to give Krishna to you, to speak Harikatha to you. And if I am not able to do so, how can I accept anything from you? I am here for 2-3 days, but I am not able to give anything to you. Therefore, I don't have any right to accept anything from you. You see what standard that he has given. If we can follow that standard, he is an acharya, he can do anything, he can digest, he is Supreme Lord's direct associate, Nayanamani Manjari. He doesn't have to do it. He has the capacity to burn all the impurities to ashes, not like us. But he is setting an example to all of us. We want to go to a place to enjoy. Oh, if I go to Bombay, then I will get nice foodstuffs to eat during Prachar. If I go to Chandigarh, then I will get nice foodstuffs to eat. Oh, then I will go with the Prachar party, like our Bhanda Bhagat. But sadhu is, if I cannot give anything, how can I accept anything? So, because our consciousness is polluted, or our consciousness is always thinking about enjoyment, any food item that we accept, our mind will become polluted and it will deprive us from Hari Bhajan. So, it is very, very important that, especially for sadhakas, for people like us, we should not accept food here and there, because it will contaminate our consciousness. And when the consciousness is contaminated, Hari Bhajan is not possible. But for sadhu, he is tejasvi. He is self-illuminating. He can burn anything. He can accept anything. He can digest anything. Even if impure object is given to him, he can very easily burn it to ashes. Like Srila Prabhupada, he has ordered one of his disciples to wear a long coat, suit, He was a Tridandi sannyasi. But he told that in order to preach, for the purpose of preaching, because the Queen of England, she is coming, in order to interact with her, if you go in a saffron cloth, maybe she will become apprehensive, she may not accept it. So you go like a Vishayi, like a material enjoyer, wear boot, have a long coat, which was the attire those days of rich persons, and he did that way, but he was not affected. Why? Because he has accepted it for purpose, for an ultimate purpose, and he is unaffected because he has the capacity to burn it. His Gurudev has given that strength. But some persons have imitated and they fall down. Why? Because that strength is not there. By the strength of Guru's blessings or mercy, anything is possible. But if the mercy is not there, then one cannot do so. So here he is telling that Agni hoite shikhar kotha bolite chen. From this, from in this verse, Prabhupada is writing, Shakal vastu kai dahan koriya thake. The fire can burn everything. All the impurities in that can be completely gone. Sadhu tadrup anasakt bhave sakal vishaye adhikar labh koriya tad vishay bhog korenna. So in a similar way, sadhu also, a devotee also, anasakta bhave, without being attached, because he is not attached to enjoyment. If we are thinking about sense enjoyment, then we are becoming attached to it. But a sadhu, he does not go from place to place with a desire of sense enjoyment, isn't it? He goes from place to place only to deliver Krishna to others. And in the process, if something were to be, any impurity is there, everything is burnt to ashes, because he is not actually attached. The problem is when we are attached. The phone is a problem if we are attached to it. But if we are not attached to it, then it is not a problem at all. The object in itself has as we discussed, no good or bad qualities per se. But it depends on what is the motive behind using it and how much attachment I have to it. That's why Mahaprabhu told Raghunath, very nice instructions are there to Raghunath Das Goswami. Vishaya bhunjo yathayukta vishaya bhunjo anasakta hoya. You accept, bhunjo means enjoy actually. Or we can say in other words, enjoy means we think in different way. You can say that you accept all material things, but anasakta hoya, without attachment. If with attachment you do anything, then that will be cause of misery. You can accept everything. You can accept nice food, you can accept nice dress, you can accept everything. But if you become attached to it, then it's a problem. Because we can't remain unattached, it is said that don't do. It's very difficult for us eating very nice food and not getting attached to it. Is it possible? Dressing so nicely, decorating so beautifully and not attached to it. Someone saying you are looking beautiful, your dress is so nice. No, we cannot remain attached. That is why it said, be simple. तिनी सर्वदा चेतनमय स्वभाव विशिष्ट होइया नश्वर पदार्थे अभिनिविष्ट ना होवाय मुक्तात्मा. Because his consciousness is always fixed on the permanent thing, on the Atma, on the Supreme Lord. His consciousness is always fixed there. Therefore, what his external appearance is, whether it is nice or not nice, good or bad, he is totally unaffected. Like our Narayan Maharaj, Pujipad Narayan Maharaj, Guru Maharaj's god brother, he used to say one incident that has happened. He used to, one or two occasions, or on certain occasions, he got an opportunity to cook for Gurudev. He cooked food and then he offered it to Gurudev. So he offered it to Gurudev and then Guru Maharaj started eating. And Pujipad Narayan Maharaj, he later, he tasted that there was no salt put in it. The food was without any salt, and he did not put salt separately for Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj ate everything. He said that I did not come in front of Maharaj for a long time. because I was afraid that he will scold me. But then when finally I came in front of him, I asked, Maharaj, I'm sorry, maybe the food is, no, first class. Food is very nice. No, but Maharaj, I forgot to, no, but it's very nice. Because he is not accepting the taste of it. He is accepting the mood of the person. Someone has done it. So he is always accepting the mood, but unattached to the thing of it, the taste of it or anything. He is not attached to the taste. Another occasion, he told another incident that, he was supposed to, Guru Maharaj, even though he was, president of Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, he used to be very simple. He used to dress very simple. He saw that Maharaj is going for Harikatha and then he doesn't have nice dress. I need to, prepare a nice dress and color it, dye it nicely. So he said that I wanted to dye a nice cloth, and for that I have, prepared a cloth and then put it in the dye. And then after it was dried, I saw that it has patches of red and white. I couldn't do properly. And he told Gurudev that evening you are going for some Harikatha discourse, so you please wear it. So he's saying like this, he put the, this thing, he had put it in the sun to dry, and after it is dry, he saw that patches of red, patches of white, patches of red, like that. He used to say like deer skin. He himself used to use the word that it's like a deer skin at different places, different colors. And I was fearful that, I told Maharaj to use it. But then Guru Maharaj, he told that I saw that Maharaj wore it. He came out of the room to speak Harikatha. He was going in that dress only. Suddenly I stopped Maharaj. Maharaj, this dress is not good. Why are you wearing this? Instead you wear some other. No, this is very nice. This is very nice. Why? Because whoever has done it, he is accepting the love of it. So Narayan Maharaj used to cry while he used to say this. That, I have, I don't know how to serve also. But even however foolish way I used to do, he used to accept everything so nicely. By giving consolation to me that, no, you have done it nicely. He will not let the person know that he has done any mistake also. That is, he never said, oh, what is this? Why did you do like this? Even we have seen that even if there is some, mistake that we have done in his service, he never used to say, oh, why did you do like this? This not. No. Always in an encouraging way. This is nice, but if it can be done this way, it will be better. Always in such way. So, Narayan Maharaj used to say, what kind of a sadhu he is, I cannot explain in words. Not at all attached to anything. He has no attachment to anything. You give him pleasures, you give him pains, you do whatever, he is totally detached from everything. Very difficult to find such a sadhu, he used to say. So, such are the properties of a sadhu. He has the capacity to, because his consciousness is fixed in the self, in the Supreme Lord, therefore he is totally unaffected with the external things. Tini sanchayo korenna, and he does not also accumulate things. He will not store. He will not worry about tomorrow or day after tomorrow. One time, if I see time, I have to stop. One time, a person came to our Calcutta Math, started shouting that I have given so much to the Math, but this time you are saying that there is no food. He came somewhere in the afternoon, prasadam was finished. He was shouting loudly that when the time comes, when the first week of month comes, you come to my house to collect your monthly donation for the Math. But when I come here, then you are not providing food. And the Bhandari is supposed to said that, Prabhu, please excuse, if you had told us earlier, we would have stored it for you. He said, no, you are like this, you are like that. So when he started to speak like this, then Guru Maharaj heard this. He came down. And he again politely said, what happened? No, this is what has happened. But that person who was a donor, he was constantly shouting. Guru Maharaj tried to explain him, no, you please wait, we will cook just now and then provide to you. No, this is the way that you feed the guest, you don't know how to serve. Then Guru Maharaj also became very angry. He told, Guru Maharaj, angrily he told, is it that because of your supplying we are sustaining? We have come to our Gurudev, we have come at the shelter of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna thinking that they are our protectors. Not because such X and Y, X person, Y person, Z person is giving money, therefore we are able to survive. We have no such, we have not put our faith in materialistic persons, we have put our faith in our Gurudev. Krishna is our protector, our Gurudev is our protector. If you give money, it is for your own benefit that you are giving. Don't think that you are feeding us, or you are feeding Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, or you are feeding sadhus. Supreme Lord is supplying. If you don't give, then someone else will give. Supreme Lord Sri Krishna will provide for his own. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. The Lord says that I personally take care of the devotee's needs. What else? You are such an arrogant person that you are thinking that because of you, the mutt is running. Because mutt is being run by Gurudev, mutt is being run by Sri Krishna. Then Param Gurudev was hearing this from the balcony. He was very pleased with Guru Maharaj speaking that way. He was very pleased. He appreciated later. So the thing is that they are not worried about future. That, oh, if I lose this donor, maybe, it is very difficult, so let me hang on to this donor. I should be very nice. Maybe he is scolding, but I should be very nice. If he is scolding you, then you can tolerate. But if he is scolding Hariguru Vaishnavas, if he is using abusive words to them, then you cannot tolerate. You can tolerate for your own self, no problem. But for the sadhus, for Guru, for the mutt, no, you cannot tolerate. So, he does not store, he does not accumulate. Tini anasakta bhave jaha prayojaniya tatatuku matra grahan kore. Without any attachment, whatever is essential, to that extent only he will accept. He will not overeat also, or nor he will keep it for some other day. Sadhu papadi malinya rahit hoya sarvada naitik bale baliyan. And because he is free from all sins and other activities, he is rich with morality. Because there are no sins or bad qualities in him. He is rich with, his power is his morality. Tini means like the fire is luminous, is very powerful. In such a way, the power or the effulgence of a sadhu is his morality. Because of that, he is never fearful. He is free from all sins. Tini लोभादीर वशवर्ती होइया दृश्य जगतेर कोनो वस्तुर द्वारा आकृष्ट होना. He is never attracted to anything because of greediness. He has no greed other than to serve Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He has no greed in anything else. Therefore, he is not attracted to anything material. Tini sakal akarshankai parabhuta kurite samartha. And in fact, he can all attractions will become totally nullified at his place. Means nothing can attract him other than Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Agni hoite ei shakal gun grahita hoy. From fire one can learn these things. Okay, so time is up. We will do a quick summary tomorrow and then continue from here. जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय. श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन वेद परम गुरुदेव की जय. श्री गुरुदेव की जय. गौर प्रेमानंदे.
ये जो आता है तो बहुत सारे लोग अलग अलग भाव से किसी लोग भी देते हैं, फिर वो